Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Kelvin Wilson, and we do movies, we do TV, and movies, food, and hip hop. And I am back again with another We Do commentary. So, this is actually dedicated to Mr. John Campea. So, today I was watching John Campea movie blog on YouTube, and someone asked him a question. Did they think that Get Out only became best film because of political reasons? Now, everybody everybody has their own opinion about why this movie got nominated for a Academy Award, why this movie was nominated and this movie wasn't nominated. I mean, this happens every year. We already know that this happens every year. There's one movie that somebody says, well, that shouldn't have been nominated. You should have put that in there instead of this. We all get that, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. The reason why I disagree with John Campea is basically these statements that I'm about to make. So, Get Out, whether people did like it, did love it, didn't like it, the movie, this movie, and I will talk about this movie, and Wonder Woman, I think, was in the zeitgeist pretty much of it being cultural. So I guess in a sense it was cultural, because here's Jordan Peele, a first-time director. I'm pretty sure he's not a first-time writer, because he's written sketches for Key and Peele and probably some sketches for Mad TV when he was on there. But I digress, and let's get back to this subject. So, whether or not you liked the movie or you didn't like the movie, I personally agree that I personally will like to say that I think that Jordan Peele deserved Best Director. I think he deserved the nomination for Best Screenplay, Original Screenplay. And I believe that Get Out deserved to be Best Movie. I think if you look at the overall movies that are nominated on and in the Best Picture category, that there are some films that, Dunkirk made some noise, or Darkest Hour, everybody loves Gary Oldman's performance, or this movie and that movie. But I guarantee you no one has talked about any of those movies as much as everybody has talked about Get Out. Get Out became the talk of the town. Get Out became that conversation that you had because you saw the movie more than once, and then you started picking up on things that you may not have seen the first time you saw that movie. Because I know that I did. And then after like my second or third time, then people started having discussions about this, and this part was this, and this was this, and what about that scene, and this represented this. This movie, trust me when I tell you, I talked to a lot of movie people. And yes, people talked about Dunkirk. And yes, people talked about The Darkest Hour. And yes, people talked about The Disaster Artist. And Disaster Artist isn't nominated for an Academy Award, but I'm just letting you know that there's a lot of movies that were talked about. And I'm not taking away from anything that any movie was talked about. Baby Driver was talked about a lot for the way that Edgar Wright directed that movie and the way he made a heist musical. Like, all of these movies were being talked about, but none, and I guarantee you there are only 2 films, maybe 3. I'll give you 3 films that was talked about as much, if anything else. It was Get Out, it was Wonder Woman, and it was Logan. And I do agree with a lot of people. I think that Logan should have been nominated for Best Picture. But because the Academy Awards, for some reason, has this bias and this elitist attitude about comic book movies, they'll only nominate it when it comes to the visual effects, the costume design, the special effects. They'll do it for wardrobe, but they'll never give anybody a best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, a best director, even a best movie. Like The Dark Knight was one of the best movies that came out that year, and they didn't even nominate it for a best movie category. I mean, Heath Ledger won it. And people tell me that I'm wrong about this, but I do think that I'm so right about this. Number one, Heath Ledger deserved that Oscar nomination and that win because he put in the best performance of that year in that movie. The second reason why I think they gave it to him is because he passed away. And people tell me, no, it's just because of the good performance. But no, it is because he passed away as well. It was the good performance, but it was also because he passed away. But Get Out has been one of the most talked about movies of 2017. It is still being talked about to this day. There are classes being taught in colleges called The Sunken Place. I have seen videos on YouTube about two African American professors who teach a black horror class, and they call it The Sunken Place. And Jordan Peele showed up to these classes to talk about Get Out. Now, I will agree that everybody does have... Now, this could have been a political reason for Get Out being nominated. It could have been. And some of the films that have women could be in there for political reasons as well, because of the whole Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement. Hollywood tends to, once a cycle begins to go, Hollywood goes in that cycle too. So majority of these films could have been nominated for political reasons. That doesn't mean that it wasn't a good film. Jordan Peele, for a first-time director, directed a beautiful made one, like a long episode of a Twilight Zone or something like that. But it was perfect, and that's why I disagree with you, John Campea. I think Jordan Peele deserves that Best Director. I wish he would win it. I wish he would win Best Picture for Get Out. But of course, you know, you can only throw a bone so much and not know that you're not supposed to reach for that bone, because you know they're never going to give it to you. That's just how it is. But you guys tell me what you thought, what you think about what I said. Comment on, you can check this video out on We Do Movies, We Do TV, and Movies, Food, and Hip Hop pages on Facebook, as well as the We Do Movies blog on WeDoMovies.tumblr.com, as well as the YouTube channel as well. And until then, we'll see you next time. Peace.